Beautiful Glory Series number 9. I'm YoshnJa, your MC and commentator for this evening's match. To introduce our competitors for this evening, on the blue team and game host, we have LastKingSaviour. Last King, would you like to say a quick hello to the viewers? Thank you. And challenging LastKingSaviour, we have on the red team, Guitarmanager. Guitar, would you also like to give a quick hello? One more time.
Can you hear me all right?
There you go. For some reason, it didn't come through the first couple times. All right, there you go.
Yeah, sorry. Well, hello.
No,
Good
you're
to be
good.
here.
I think that was a stream hiccup. It might not even call it Last King, honestly, but I know it came in that time for you. But either way, I got you covered. We're all situated. Last King also said hello to the viewers out there. Last King, you wanted to say hello again? I don't think you picked up the first time as well.
I heard
Hey,
them the
what's up,
first time.
players?
There you go. Okay, little hiccups there. It's all good though. Anyways, I'm super excited for tonight's match. Both these guys are playing on the most recent version 5.4 update, which introduced the equipment sets, which is where you equip certain 3 pieces of gear to enable special effects. Also a couple of ability and job changes there as well in this update. It's the only update planned for this year in 2026, outside of maybe needing an incremental for whatever reason, but otherwise this is the only update for this year. Really excited to see this being really the first, like, I guess you could say, competitive match of patch, so I'm really excited to see you guys both bringing in some really solid teams. Before we go into all that, let's go over the series for this, the format for tonight, which is standard. 1 second. All right. Standard is Tactics League's premier 5v5 format. With Standard, both players deploy 1 unique plus 4 generics, or even a 5 generics only team if they choose to. There are 40 actions that both players share. Using the wait or move command does not consume an action. There's also a 13-minute chess-like timer that runs during each of their units' turns and only pauses during an action. Once that 13-minute clock reaches 0, they will have 20 seconds per turn to fully make their plays. If they do not, then that unit's turn will immediately come to an end. The loser of Game 1 will decide Game 2's map, as long as it was not something that was already predetermined earlier, which would have been either Orban Monastery or Balius Tor. So it could be any map besides those two, or the first map of tonight, which is Gollund. Alright, so with all that being said here, let's get this show on the road here. I'm really excited to watch this, and I know these guys are really ready to play. So I'll be back with you all momentarily while we get roster verification started. It should be about 3 minutes, so catch you all in a few. Alright, and we are starting game 1 on Gollund. We're watching from LastKingSaviour's perspective as Team Blue versus Guitarmanager, Team Red. As I mentioned earlier, both players have brought top level teams here, I would wager, so I'm really curious to see how this game plans out. First things first, of course, as we're probably about to notice here, LastKing is checking Guitar's team. It is always important to check your opponent's team before you really start engagement or even moving, because honestly, it's really important to really figure out who has what strengths or weaknesses real quick. And the more and more you get acclimated with the update and the patch in general, the easier it is to kind of figure that out. So it's always really important to just kind of glance at each unit's character screen real quick and just kind of see what everyone's rocking. That way you kind of know in advance, like, okay, well, maybe this Orator's a threat or Reyes is going to be a threat because of, you know, whatever reason, and you can kind of plan accordingly that way. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Looks like LastKing's going to go ahead and do a focus on his Onion Knight, increasing his power, magic, and speed by 1. Alright, he's also going to shift his Onion Knight to about the midway of the map and end his turn there. And now we're shifting over to Guitar's White Mage. Now, Guitar's White Mage is running the new healer set, which is where you have red hood, white robe, and red shoes, all 3 equipped. What that does is when you cast Cure abilities, Cure abilities also restore half of the HP as MP, so it's really nice when you're using it with units with Mana Shield or anyone that's MP reliant. In addition to that, if you're casting anything, including Cure or even Potions, for example, on a unit that has Cup of Life, and that Cup of Life triggers, then the overhealed amount is also doubled, so that can be really powerful, especially because Cup of Life works on all allies regardless of the map, or excuse me, regardless of the position. So even if they're across the field, they still get that heal from Cup of Life. It's a really it's an interesting reaction. You don't see it as much in PvP. I have seen it ran a couple times. I've even used it a couple times, but it's just one of those skills that you kind of want to build for, but it can be really impactful. Getting that cross-map heal can be really nice, especially in the mid-late game. Alright, so Guitar's going to go ahead and cast Praise on his Reyes. It's going to increase her Brave by 10. She has low starting Brave at 31, so that's going to put her at 41 there, and that'll make it a lot easier for her to avoid getting chicken by chance. And also get that right reaction level up there as well, too. She is running wards, so she's already getting that initial Protect Shell out there, but it's still nice to just get that Brave up, especially on a unit that has low Bravery by default anyways. Now, also speaking of which, Guitar's Reyes is also running an equip set called Arcane Spirit with Celebrant's Mitre, Sage's Robe, and the Imperial Armband. We have those 3 equipped. Your cast times are reduced by 2, and what that does is it allows you to actually cast abilities that were 2 tick or less. They become insta-cast. So things, for example, like Black Magic's Fire, which is normally a 2 tick cast, is now an insta-cast because of the set. So it can be a really powerful set when you have it in conjunction of different things, such as like Faith Status, or just like having like a target oiled, things like that. So get those really powerful casts off fast is really nice. Alright, looks like LastKing's going to go ahead and chance his Vehemenced Ashley here with a Vile Scar. That is a double kill there with Ashley there. He caught the unit in charge there with Reyes, so that was going to take double damage there. So that was a KO there. He's going to actually hold off on using his Tactician set there, which would have enabled Ashley to be able to move once again, but he's going to save CT there instead. And LastKing is going to go ahead and charge up a Rousing Melody with his Monk there. Alright, so his stage is only going to land on White Mage because the White Mage and the Samurai, excuse me. That was actually a nice counterplay there against the slow that Ashley put out earlier. quick does to see there on Ashley. That's going to put him almost back in their turn there. That's super dangerous for Guitar. He might be getting a 2-for-1 combo here in a second here, depending on how the CT's lined up. Yes, Ashley is actually the next unit to go. Oh man, okay, so Guitar's going to have to really play this careful. He needs to avoid being within one tile AoE because Vilescar is a one tile AoE attack. He also is going to need to be able to like, for the most part, he needs to deal with Ashley now. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to play them off fast enough or not. That is yet to be seen here. It's a lot of pressure to be looking at right off the bat, but that is definitely how Last King was set up. He's definitely running a high aggressive blitz style squad here. And we are shifting back to Ashley since he had the turn again. He is now able to Vilescar or Sanguine, whichever, with Darkness, whatever skill he wants to play here. If I had to guess, he's probably going to read down Reyes. That's probably his best bet. Alright, he's going to go ahead and read down Reyes there with Sanguine Sword. Is he going to conserve CT again, or is he going to reposition Ashley? It looks like he's looking to reposition Ashley so he can get that, be in that, the Rousing Melody's haste. So that's what he's doing there. He's going to go ahead and push him on the rooftops. It's going to actually make it harder for Guitar to respond to Ashley as well. Let's see how that Rousing Melody plays out. Alright, got a 1 out of 5 there, only landing on the blue mage. It's now Guitar's white mage turn. Now Guitar is currently down 2 units. He still has the ability to, and he's down 2 units. He's got another unit in critical with poison, so once the Samurai goes again, if he doesn't get rid of that poison, he's also down. So he's definitely in a very tight spot right now if I had a wager. There's definitely a couple plays that Guitar can make. It's just that right now he's definitely kind of on the back leg. Now, will Guitar move as white mage? I'm not sure if it's really worth moving. I think he might want to sit on CT here. She does not have defense boost. She does have swiftness. Defense boost would actually be pretty dang handy against the Ashley right now, but it'd probably be best to save CT. I think that, yeah, that is what he's going for. That's a good idea there on his behalf. It looks like Last King is going to try to get a 2-range attack with Francisca there. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to hit low enough on that Samurai. Yeah, the Samurai is actually safe for now, I believe. If he can get the cast time. He needs to check the turn order. He does have the cast, so he can land it. Alright. Here comes the, I believe it's the raise, yep. That's going to be 100% on Reyes because she is Fate status. Alright, and Rousing Melody's going off. Ashley does get the haste, that's not good. It's not good for Guitar. He does have some actions here. Start up here. Definitely going to need an insta-cast now, though. I think something along the lines of if he can get status on Ashley, that would be ideal. Samurai is pretty much a goner, though, on the next act. He definitely needs to check that Ashley before he gets his turn again. Tar utilizing the start button turn order. Definitely a good feature there. Definitely ideal. Definitely needs to take some time here. I know he's definitely on the back leg, and with that aggressive play that Last King just made, he definitely is on the back leg currently, so he needs to be trying to prioritize a really good play here. It definitely taking the time, a little extra minute or two would not hurt. because the next couple of actions is going to be very, very important for him. Alright, looks like Guitar is making a decision here with what he wants to go for. Alright, looks like he's charging up ToeJa. Alright, the Ladara is enough damage to get rid of that Samurai. Now, where are we sitting at on the turn list? This is really the really important part here. If I had to guess, ToeJa is probably the next acting skill to go. So LastKing's going to probably try to get to Reyes. I think he's out of range regardless of any play he can make here. Yeah, I think Reyes is actually one tile out from most skills, so she should be safe for the most part. Okay, yeah, he's looking to see if he can get a Graviga off as a counter response. He's not going to be able... I don't think he has the cast time to get that out beforehand. That's when it's exact damage there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to land that beforehand, but still, he knows that he can land that attack regardless, so still probably wise to go ahead and charge it up regardless. Yep, looks like he's going to go ahead and commit to that. Alright, so we should get the ToeJa. Yep. Alright, 79% odds here. Guitar 100% needs this. Alright, the ToeJa will connect there. Alright, and the Graviga will counter connect as well, so there goes Reyes. Okay, Guitar is still down here, 3 units. LastKing is currently up. With the technical, the Toe's still a living unit, so he is still up 5-2. Alright, Guitar's gonna go ahead and get the revive off with Mastery Arts. And that should give the Samurai the next act. No, it does not. Okay, the Monk has the next action here. Potential Shockwave, but he won't be able to get the Monk won't be able to reach Ashley. So actually, he can. Whoa. Okay, he has to jump. I was completely miscalled that one. All right, very good play there by LastKing to get his Ashley out of that Toad. All right, Guitar definitely got to play this real carefully here. Of course, I was saying earlier, being spaced against the onslaught that Ashley has the capabilities of is definitely ideal. So you don't have your units one tile beside each other. Of course, right now he just is starting his turn here. He definitely needs to move the Samurai regardless, but he's going to have to be away from his Willow, the Orator, to avoid getting AoE'd again. Trying to think of what options he has with his Samurai that can do something now. I don't think he's got a lot of options with the incoming attack. Potential res power, maybe, but I think his unit's CT isn't lined up well for that to happen. Ashley's at 98 CT2, so man, that's rough. Okay, the White Mage goes next though. Okay. Okay, maybe there's something that I think he can do. I'm gonna go here for the stop chance there. It actually lands. Okay, that's a good play there. Good play there. A little risk there, but risk and reward. Did land the stop with Kotetsu there with Samurai, so that will put Last King's Ionite out of play temporarily. All right. And now we're shifting over to Guitar's White Mage. Now I believe the next acting unit should be Ashley. It could also be the Sage, but Last King definitely has the next couple of actions. So it's super important where where Guitar stands at in position. Okay. Guitar is going to go ahead and charge up a Rise on Reyes. That will give her full HP recovery since she is Faith. I'm hoping the CT lines up again. I don't think it's favorable because there are multiple units that are about to go. But I guess Laskin is going to go ahead and pretty much countercast here with AoE as well, which would be probably ideal for this situation. He knows he's getting the res, so let's just go ahead and lay down either some AoE damage or potential status as she gets back up. Alright, and we're shifting over to Ashley's turn now. All units are spaced out, as I was mentioning earlier, so that's good on Guitar's behalf. That effectively means it can only get one unit down at a time. With that being said, however, keep in mind that Ashley does have the Tactician set equipped, which basically means that if he does get a KO, he's able to remove again, or he can not move and conserve CT once he gets the killing blow. So Last King has a lot of different flexibility right now with the way he's going to play this turn out. He could also... No, I don't think he's going to go... I don't think he's going to go the support route. I think he's going to try to keep his damage out. Who does he go for? Is it the Orator or is it the Samurai? I think the Orator is his best pick right now. Personally, she is potentially more of a threat than the Samurai. He's going to go ahead for the Samurai though. Okay. All right, he's going to go ahead and conserve CC. No, he's not. Nope. Okay, he's going to go ahead and take advantage of Tactician there and remove. All right, the Arise will land since Reyes is Faith. Alright, now it's going to be a matter of where does Quake land, because is it enough damage to re-down Reyes in return? Now she does, actually she has Sage Roach, so she should be safe. So a whomping 494 there though. Alright, we have Protect and Shell falling off on all units other than Reyes, just because hers just got refreshed thanks to Ward. I think, okay, the Monk actually had this a little bit prolonged there too, so now it's going to be the time where Lesk is going to try to keep that pressure up and try to get Reyes down fat, I guess, before she gets her act. Barely enough damage there. If he can get the gravity off, though, then he's golden. Yep, gravity is just enough, 2 points high enough to get her down, and she is down there, and We are in now the 21st action of game 1, and it has been a bloodbath. Last King is definitely putting a lot of pressure on Guitar. Guitar hasn't had a lot of time to put pressure back because he's been kind of on the back end of trying to keep his units stabilized. Ashley's about to go again thanks to that remove and the saving of CT. It's a real solid option of being able to do that, and the amount of damage that Ashley has with Vehemence has definitely been putting in work. Now, with that being said, Ashley does not have Protect Shell anymore. The Orator does have, as a faith-based Orator with boost, she's got the whole 9 yards there, so her Glacial Gunshot will hit like a truck. It actually might be in a good position for her to potentially get a Charm or a KO off, depending on the damage capabilities that she has. And I'm pretty sure Guitar is probably leaning on that right now, trying to assess if he can do that. I definitely would go for it personally. The only problem is that I see is that Monk has probably just going to be able to go back and revive him once he's dead, and then he's kind of back to square one. So I feel like that's something he's thinking about. Okay, the Monk actually gets the next action, because that's a good thing. Yeah. We got the... Oh, okay. Huh. The level 1 shot actually might have been really good thing for Guitar there. Of course, he had the kill, but the level 1 might have forced... Yes, it does. It forces Last King to have to... He's going to have to actually like get some damage on him, because you can't use Purification against Charms specifically, so... Which is what he was aiming to do. He's going to have to do something like Shockwave or something else. I think that for this particular situation, it's probably best for him to go ahead and just get damage out and worry about something like Blue Mage or maybe the Sage kind of smacking him with less damage. But yeah, that Charm Shot was actually pretty clutch. Kind of more important for Guitar right now to have this high threat in his favor. It forces Last King to have to potentially KO him, honestly, to just not avoid getting his team clapped, basically because of it. So I think he needs to. That's what I'm aiming for. I don't know. He's still in Shockwave range. He could go for the Shockwave there. I still think he needs to avoid the problem. He needs to go ahead and KO his Ashley. It sucks to hear, but you don't want your hardest hitting unit like turning on you when he's about to go. It's making him think twice. You can even see him kind of right now. We're watching him kind of checking the turn list and things like that, because he's really thinking about it, I think. But I'm not sure if he's really going to go for that, if he's going to potentially get damage out on the Orator. The Orator Sage Ring is definitely putting in some work there. He doesn't have, unless he gets a lucky critical strike there and did that critical damage, the double damage there with Pummel. It's possible. It's 500 if it lands. Okay, it hits the MP shield there, so good stuff there for Guitar's sake. All right, let's see what this actually does. Yeah, this is really bad for Last King. We just witnessed a shift in the game right there. We just watched Guitar struggling all the way up, but now, and I mean, he actually has the capabilities of coming back from this game 1. That charm literally changed the game. If he can land this Arise or Raise off in time, he can. Oh man, okay. We are watching some high-level tactics. This is what I love to see. The clutch, all the stuff. The Onion Knight should be coming out of stop any second now. There he goes. He gets the action. He needs to check unit CT. Yep. Reyes is about to go. Last King has some. He has some options here, but he's got some difficulties right now. Oh man. My prediction is that he's either going to do one of two things. He's either going to get a revive out, or he's going to try to use the Francisca basic attack, which he has a chantage, which means that the Crush Helm will activate on the attack, so they'll break Reyes' headgear, which will force her to lose her equipment set as well, the Arcane Spirit. I think that's what he's going for. It's solid damage, but it's not enough to really put in a chop. Alright. I actually forgot about the proc damage there, so yeah, that was really good total damage there. She lost Arcane Spirit because she lost Summoner's Minder. But with that being said, checking CT here, Guitar, if he can play this right, he actually might be able to come back fully from this and take this game one. And honestly, we've been watching this game one. It has been Last King's game almost from the start. From just the aggression and the blitz play that he made with the turn, pretty much that turn one Ashley. I think they didn't even surprise Guitar. He's like, you know, maybe bad positioning there on his part, but also he probably just didn't even think about it. And it really, really put him on his foot almost all the way through. But that charm Vile Scar literally flipped the game almost entirely on his head. He's getting the level 3 shot there. All right, this is big. Guitar's really gonna have to make a real good play here. Using that CT, using the CT. The Onion Knight had already moved. He's already attacked. He's going for that monk. It's got a very smart play there. All he needs to do now is basically cast, if he has it, either a level 1 or a level 2 cure on Reyes, which will get her back to basically full. Thanks to, oh, he's actually going to go for the revive plate. That's fine too. He's keeping his units alive. He's going ahead and cast a Shiva there. That is going to down the monk. Last King has 1 unit alive here. It is his Onion Knight. Guitar has almost fully recovered here. It is crazy. He was just sitting on a 5-2, just about. The miss! Oh, man. But it's okay, though. He saved CT. He did move, so now she gets to go again. That is really, really powerful here. Now he can get a pretty much an instant-cast cure on Reyes. He's going to go ahead and just retry the revive. I understand that. He's just trying to keep his units at bay here at this point. Reyes may die on the next action here. The Onion Knight needs to get a revive off at this point. There's pretty much no ifs or buts about it. I think what's going on here is Guitar's forcing his hand. Either you attack my white mage and kill her, but now I still have units alive, or you have to revive a unit. He's going to go ahead and go for the Reyes. Okay, that's fair too. I think, however, getting the revive off might have been his best bet, because now the Onion Knight's by himself. He's at full HP, but he is by himself. The revive's going off on the Samurai. Excuse me, not the revive, the raise. Alright, that will succeed. Okay, now all Guitar needs against a shellless, a protected shellless Onion Knight is to shoot him down, and he's got this game. Guitar's going for, he's putting all his money on the revives. Okay, he's getting his team up. Again, he is focusing on making sure that he has units alive here. I totally understand that. He has been struggling almost all the way through this game one, and he is now fully committed to getting his entire squad back up. The revive power, I mean, goodness gracious. There's items, there's revive, there's raise. Like, we're watching this. He has gotten his entire team. He went from 2 units to 5 against 1. Guitar currently has the lead 5-1, going into the 34th action of game 1. Guitar's going to commit to another Kotetsu there. Can he roll another 19%? What? Oh man, that's crazy, dude. That is crazy. He has landed both stops when he needed them most. He has landed them both. That is crazy. Oh my goodness, that's something I would not have expected to get the double stop there. And now Last King's Onion Knight is not only is he locked down, but he is ganged up on. That is going to be a GG for game 1. Guitar somehow managed to get back up from what would easily appear as a game defeat. And he has now taken game 1 5-0 Guitar. All right, that was something. Oh my goodness, let's get these guys back on the mic. All right, got you dubs, and let's get Guitar. All right, Guitar, got you there as well. You guys there?
Oh, GG's.
What a G freaking G, guys! Holy crap! I don't think I've seen a sweaty freaking game like that in a hot minute. That thing went from like holy crap to holy crap from right from the beginning to the end. Wow.
Good game, buddy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, man, I'm really glad to have caught that. That was something, guys. GG's to you both. GG's to you, Guitar, from coming out from what was pretty much a sure defeat. You managed to go from basically 2 units almost all the way from the beginning, or 2 to 3 units, and then managed to pull off. And that charm Vilescar literally just flipped the game upside its head. As soon as that happened,
I was contemplating. I was like, do I cool him off? I was like, should I beat him up with the monk? And I was like, nah, he'll be all right.
Yeah, I thought that was the only play, was to just kill him off with the monk.
That's what I was anticipating, because I was like, if he gets that turn and he gets a bop on his team, that could be it right there. And it kind of spiraled right then and there. But still, I mean, wow, that was something, guys. Good game to you both right there.
The forecasted damage on the regular attack was more than enough to just kill him. So
yeah,
I got really lucky on that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Real quick, just to verify, was that on 35th action or was that 34th? Anybody remember? If not, I'll go back and play. I'll go back and look over later.
I don't know for sure.
Okay,
I can't remember. Sorry, but
that's fine. That's fine. When I go do my final notes, I'll just go back and make sure I get that one correct. But yeah, either way, good stuff there, guys. Again, that was a crazy game 1 that just kind of sets the tone for this evening right then and there. Yeah, let's go on and get to game 2 here. Last King, since you lost the first game, what map would you like for game 2, other than Orban or Balius Tour?
Okay, I'll just have a little look now.
Sure.
With the maps.
You're good. Okay, Zephyroth on YouTube, it says 36. Appreciate you, Zephyroth. I thought it was somewhere around there. I just couldn't remember exactly where it ended
at. Maybe. Maybe just go Golgollada Gallows, eh?
We'll go to the Gallows. Okay. Sounds good. Gallows it is. Alright, so viewers, we will be back in about 5 minutes to do roster verification. Both fellas have the ability to swap in reserve units this game 2, and also game 3, we get to game 3. So we're taking an extra minute or two just to make sure they know who they want to swap. If they want to swap, now we can get all this stuff logged and recorded. I will be back with you all momentarily. All right, we are back. We are starting game 2 now on Golgollada Gallows. Last King lost the first game, so you get to choose what game or what map to play for game 2. Oh, also, I love this soundtrack. I believe this is Antidote. Anyways, let's get this show on the road. We had an awesome game 1 there. So I really, I think this game's just going to go kind of in a similar fashion too. One cool thing here is that both players actually switched in their reserve uniques, so it is a cloud versus cloud game we have going on here. No Ashley or Reyes this round. They both have swapped in their clouds, so let's see how that goes. See some limit breaks going on and all that jazz. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, Guitar did have he did swap out his Bard for his Squire this round as well. Otherwise, for Last King, he only swapped out Ashley for Cloud. It was only team changes between the two. Alright, so Guitar has a Monk variant of Cloud, which means that some select limits such as Cross Slash and Braver scale with the martial arts formula and Bravery. So, for example, for Braver is Bravery based since he's unarmed, so his unarmed attacks will hit like a truck because of attack boost plus innate brawler, and also because he's stacked into power as well. Whereas Last King's Cloud is a Behemoth's Cloud, so it's kind of similar to his Ashley that he ran last game, but he also has a Semite code, which is a changed item for update 5.4, which what it does is it caps all incoming HP damage to 300. So it doesn't matter how hard something hits you, the damage will be capped to 300, which really kind of has some synergy with Behemoths, because Behemoths force you to take more damage, but Semite code limits that damage back down to a cap. So I'm really curious how it's going to go for Last King's Cloud specifically. But either way, both variants of Cloud, they take any little chunk of damage. You're going to see some high power limit breaks coming out. Okay, Guitar is putting his Cloud to the dead center of the map around the Gallows. It's going to go ahead and get some nice chip damage there. Nice 180 across the board against Last King's Time Mage and Monk. Or not Time Mage, excuse me, Blue Mage. And now we're shifting over to Guitar's Time Mage. She has the Healer set equipped, which empowers her cure abilities. With this being in turn 1, I predict he's probably going to go ahead and try to get Hestasia out like he did the first game. But he also is a little bit more aware of the composition that Last King is running this game, so he could probably play a little safer, knowing that he doesn't have to worry about Ashley like potentially flying across the map with teleport and hitting a charging unit, which charging, if you all don't remember, causes you to take 50% more physical damage while you're doing so, which is also why Reyes got nuked last game, was because she was in the middle of charging. Otherwise she would have survived barely. But either way, looks like he's going to go ahead and line up his units there so that he's in position to get a nice 4 out of 5 Hestasia out. Yeah, okay, so he's not getting the Squire, but he is making sure Cloud gets his by that. It's okay, it's fair enough. Alright, let's see what Last King's up to here. Is Guitar baiting him by chance? I think maybe he might be, honestly. He's taking the safe route. I'll give Last King that. I don't think it's wise to engage right now. Getting that Protect Shell, just refreshing the uptime is really important. He's not engaging with his Cloud against the White Mage like he could have done. He's going to go ahead and just play the safe route, so bravo to the Last King there. He's not going the Blitz route like he did for game 1. I think that will maybe pay off a little better for this game 2. Now, the Orator is a fully loaded Faith check. So basically what that just means is if your opponent is running Faith units, which Last King has, the Sage and the Blue Mage, then she's going to almost, depending on what they're running in gear, almost nuke them, because she is completely stacked to deal the most damage against Faith targets with the magic gun. So he could potentially try to potentially pick off a unit right now. And I think he has the ability to do so if he can get that Orator to middle of the map near the guillotine. However, I'm not sure if he's going to do that. Again, there may be some risk. Is the risk worth the reward? What I'm kind of curious about. But I do think he's in position to do so. Okay, he's not doing that. He's actually shifting his Orator left stack of his group, so she's out of his stage range now, but she is also, for the most part, out of danger. So, okay, he's going to just make sure you get a nice, hopefully 420 hit, but let's see. That was a level 3, so it's going to be a little more than that. Okay, got a 480 hit there. Okay. He is concerned about that Onion Knight, and I mean, honestly, the Onion Knight's damage potential is pretty high, so that's fair game there. This Squire is an 8-move Squire. She has the ability to get to said Onion Knight. I'm wondering if that's what he's leaning for. Kind of potentially cause some chaos early game, or what? Okay, so the blue mage is going next after Squire. Let me check. What's her secondary? Okay, she has aim as a secondary. Okay. I don't know if he could potentially get to the Onion Knight and down him. I'm not sure if it's really worth it, though. It could cause Last King to kind of force his hand to look at her since she's on his... If he does do it, she'd be on his side. Okay, he's waiting it out. Alright, conserving CT. Never a bad thing by all means. Looks like he wants to get that haste out on her before he does anything. She also has an Angel Ring active, so she does have that re-raise on her as well. So honestly, I could see it. Star's gonna play it safe here, and there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, and Last King's going to charge up a 87% chance to Quick Cloud. If that succeeds, I'll give him an additional 50 CT there, which will almost get into his next action once everyone else goes. Alright, and his stage is now rolling out. Oh, good positioning by Guitar there. Okay, he actually got all 5. I didn't realize he had targeted elsewhere. Okay, so that was really solid then. Cloud does succeed with the plus 50 CT. Last King's Cloud, excuse me, let me emphasize that. So that Cloud is definitely about to go here next. Maybe Last King is trying to do some follow-up here so he can pretty much get Guitar's Cloud down immediately. That could be the case. Definitely depends on how the CT lines up. Alright, looks like Guitar's going to try to counter against the Sage. Potential Kiku Ichimonji coming in, yep. Alright, that's going out. It's going to be a nice 240 bruiser damage there. Alright, she does get her ward there, so it's going to refresh her Protect Shell and also grant her Regen. Alright, Last King's Rousing Melody is going off here. It only had a 40% chance to connect. Alright, and that low percentage does definitely show itself as only the Sage gets hit with haste there. Probably not the unit you want haste going out on, because casters having haste tend to take longer to charge up spells. But with that being said, still succeeds there, and now Guitar's Cloud is in critical, which it looks like Last King is definitely going to go in for the Yido there. Alright, good positioning on Last King's part. He's going to go for Cloud and the Orator, both using Muramasa. There's a 19% chance to confuse. Cloud is definitely KO'd there. The confusion does not land on the Orator, however. Still a good play there by Last King to make sure he gets the KO and also nice AoE damage. Alright, and we're shifting over to Last King's Onion Knight. I think he's within range. Kind of depends. Yeah, the tile. You can figure out the tile's a little hard. I think he's trying to figure that out too. Oh, he's actually able to get in range. Okay, he's in the 2 range of the Francisca axe. So unless she parries this, she's dead. I don't think that. Hold on. That was a Chantage unit, correct? I think so. That might have been. Yeah, that was a bug for sure then. Yeah, that was definitely a bug. And make a note of that. So while back when this update came out, there was something I was looking at, was trying to fix that. I thought that was fixed, but clearly it was not. Make a quick note of that while we're waiting. But the game must still go on regardless. Alright, so the crossbow changed attack there does misses the secondary hit, so as a dodge there by Cloud with dexterity. Rousing Melody, okay, there was a little bit of screen lag there, so I didn't catch where that connected. I think the blue mage got hit with it otherwise. Zephyroth, this map gives me PTSD. Definitely understand that. Yeah, that was a hard thing to do. Okay. Alright, so let's see here. Where are we at currently? Looks like Last King is potentially going to Quake Cloud here. He does have a turn 1 cast, so that would actually get Cloud to the next turn automatically if it succeeds. Only got a 13% chance to miss. Alright, that does connect there, so Cloud does get his turn again. Is he going to go after the white mage? He's going to go after the orator. Now, like I said earlier, the chantage Francisca attack should have technically KO'd the orator. So that was apparent. That was definitely a bug that happened there because that shouldn't have happened. But based on the game state, we still have to continue on regardless. So I don't know if he's looking at that as being a thing and just going ahead and getting her down because she's still technically living, or is he looking at trying to go after the white mage that's charging in the back? Now I think he's potentially out of range now, if I'm not mistaken. So he's having a quick gander on the ability help menu. The help menu for all this stuff has definitely been expanded on to try to get as much information as possible to everyone, especially with all the changes. Alright, the stop does not connect there, but he does cut through her mana shield a little bit, so that will definitely be an advantage for Last King there against the white mage. Now, is Last King going to change Bard Song or not? He's not really in attack range, but he could change songs up, getting off of Rousing Melody and switching over to something like, even getting some like Healing Out with Life's Anthem. It's not much though, because he doesn't have Performing Arts, but every little tidbit does help in recovery in the grand scheme of things. You could also just continue to run it and just keep the haste play going. Haste is smaller in the update, or in the patch. It's 25% of your speed, not 50 like it was in the original game, but still that little extra speed bump you do get definitely goes a long way. Alright, shifting over to Guitar's Samurai here. He's what appears to be in a really good AoE position here with the Ido, depending on if he wants to go that route or if he wants to go for Revive on his Cloud. Alright, yeah, he's going the three unit Yido route, which I mean I would personally too. Your Last King's units are in position for it, so you might as well go for it. And also to clarify, Guitar is already casting Revive or Raise on Cloud anyway, so there's no reason to go for the Revive there. It's going to chance the 90% confused on 3 units. Alright, no confusion, but it does get a KO on the Sage. That will trigger the Blue Mage's ward, but he isn't critical from that attack. Good play there by Guitar. Alright, and Cloud will be fully revived there with Arise. And Guitar's haste has fallen off from Hystasia. Alright, Last King did already preemptive with the Life's Anthem, so that's going to get a little bit of chip burst HP there. Or not chip burst, but chip HP. It's not really going to be a whole lot there, but still it's a little something. And also Life's Anthem does have a fairly fast tick frequency, so it might cast again in a moment, so that would be a nice 160. Alright, let's see this Chantage activate here, because it should. I will down Cloud there, and a really solid hit there, and also drop that headband. Alright, so it looks like the bug that exists is still the one related to Mana Shield. I was pretty sure just because Guitar's Orator has Mana Shield, and the only time we've seen that bug happen is when it's a Chantaged attack versus a Mana Shield user. So that seems to be around. I thought that got fixed, but clearly not. So it's going to be something we'll look into trying to address here in the future. With that being said, Last King currently has the board by, let's see, he is up 4-3. I'm not sure if it's going to be wise for Guitar to try to revive his Cloud again. He could, as long as the CT lines up that he can. I mean, sure, it's probably a good option, but I'm not sure if it's really the best option right now for him. He is currently at a speed disadvantage, mostly just because of Last King having a lot of units alive, and also that he has at least 1, if not 2 units haste. We're unsure about the Monk because he can't see him having the animation, but we know that the Blue Mage is at minimum. Alright, looks like he's going to go ahead and change revive targets there. He's going to go ahead and cast, I believe that's a Rise on his Orator. And now we're shifting over to his Squire, who she did do a re-equip change at one point early on. We weren't able to see that because there's no indication that she's re-equipped until we've seen a different type of attack, which she originally had a Moonblade and Stardust Rod, and she switched out into the Hunter's Mark crossbow, which is a dual-wieldable crossbow. So we know he made that change at the very least. Okay, looks like he's going to go ahead and strike Cloud from behind. Alright, oh, I see. Okay, he switched to the... he did the Hunter's Mark and the Toja, or not Toja, Toad Song weapon. So that gives him the ability to toad or untoad a unit. So that actually did connect there. Seemingly enough, she also has the Chantage as well, more like Vetigus, just to make sure that that does succeed. So that will kind of make a little hard for Last King to deal with that. But thankfully, the Monk's Purification has been putting a lot of work in here, being able to get units out. Now, it can't cleanse everything, but Toad is definitely one thing it can cleanse, as we've seen in Game 1. Oh, the sadness of casting a Faith ability and it missing with barely any hit chance. But it happens. Alright, there's another 80 top up there. Protect Shell is falling off on all units, for the most part, besides those that had Ward reactivated. Alright, and the Orator will succeed in being revived there, since she is also a Faith unit. Alright, so Toad Cloud is not going to be able to do a whole lot here, other than pretty much either lick somebody or wait. So it looks like it's going to go the route of just waiting it out there until he can get his monk to go. And honestly, still conserving CT is definitely the play, because even though you're not able to do anything, you might as well just hold out until you can get the chance. Now, Guitar might want to take advantage of that potentially and try to deal with the monk now, knowing that that is a thing. I mean, that's what he did Game 1. That's what Last King did Game 1 against his Ashley when he got toaded with Toja. So it looks like Guitar is going that route, potentially looking at that monk. Yeah, Zephyroth misses definitely. I mean, even like the low chance for it to miss sometimes still happens. So that's just how it be. Do we get the curse? We do not get the curse. That will put the monk into critical. Guitar is in position to shoot down the monk to KO. Might be wise to do so, but he might be looking at that Onion Knight. The Onion Knight is, I would wager right now, the Onion Knight is definitely Last King's like top dog right now. So Guitar might want to go ahead and check him as well, but getting the KO would not be a bad thing. I think that might be his play. Earlier, as I was mentioning, the Purification would get Cloud out, and I think that's what he's just trying to make sure that that's just not going to happen, and that is a smart idea there by Guitar to just completely shut off that ability to do so. That would be his last ability to get Cloud out of Toad, because he doesn't have any items users. The Blue Mage has Time Magics, the Onion Knight has Master Arts, and obviously can't have a secondary. So that is definitely going to seal that out there. So currently, it's not looking that great for Last King. Still, he has options, including Revive Power with the Onion Knight right now. I think that's something he may need to consider, though, in the grand scheme. If not, he needs to go ahead and go for the Samurai. But all right, looks like he's going to go for the Orator instead. All right, that will connect there. No MP for Mana Shield, so definitely no random bug there potentially to prevent something that should have normally worked. Cloud is definitely a sitting duck right now. All right, and we're shifting over to Guitar's White Mage. Alright, looks like we're going to charge up a Quick there with an 81% chance to land. If the Quick does succeed, then the Squire, who has her action right now, she'll be able to potentially deal with the Blue Mage of Added Guess, and then she'll be able to get 50 CT restored, which will not give her the instant action, but it'll definitely put her in a really good spot to be able to react. And currently, I would say that because of the Toad Song and Chantage chantage equipment, she is definitely the main threat because it's being able to just toad units out of play, and especially because Last King does not have the ability to recover out of Toad. He doesn't have Purification. He doesn't have any with items with Remedy, or even Asuna, or even Black Magics. Oh, the dodge. But the main attack that mattered does connect there. That will Toad the Blue Mage as well. And the quick is going off. Let's see if this connects at 81. It does connect there, so again, not an instant turn, but she definitely will be going soon. I mean, he needs to get the revive off. I don't think there's any other ifs or buts about it. He needs to go ahead and check the CT of the Squire, just to make sure, because she did get that 50, so she's probably already sitting back at like anywhere between 60 to 80, depending on the ticks. Looks like he's checking the Samurai there instead. I won't KO him just yet, but I will get rid of that Crystal Helm. He does get the auto potion reaction though, so that does get a nice little recovery there by the Samurai. Yeah, I think this might be kind of it for Last King here, because at this point, Guitar just needs to re-AoE again with the Yaido. The Squire is going again right after. Alright, he's going to pop a Cherry Gerade in there. That downs the Blue Mage, the 450 to the Onion Knight, and then the Squire will go again. Now, the only thing that's going to be a saving grace for Last King is if he gets any type of blocks off. I think he actually can, Guitar can actually get the back attack, okay. Oh, the charged weapon, oh, forgot about that. Yeah, he is running aim, okay. Wow, that's a good play there by Guitar. Oh, right. Cloud's technically a living unit because he's still alive. Yeah, Toad doesn't count as KO, so he still has to get killed. Yeah, Last King's moving him on into position because he can't do anything at this point. Might as well just go on and let him take the W there. Yeah, that aim actually came in really clutch over charge weapon. I completely forgot he had that, so that was a nice little, that was really solid damage there from the Squire. Nice double damage there too. Doesn't down Cloud just yet. That's thanks to the Samite coat that he has equipped, so that's capping all incoming damage to 300. Guitar should be able to get in position now. I mean, she has really high mobility, so yeah, she's in position to go for the final swing here. Alright, and that will be it. So we'll end at 31 actions in 28 minutes. Alright, let's go get these guys back on the mic real quick. Alright, Guitar and Dubs, you guys there?
Yeah.
Alright, GG to you both. Dubs, I seen that bug too. Because I was like, wait a minute. Because even when he went off, I was like, okay, so that's a down on the Orator. I'm like, wait a minute, why was that not a down on the Orator? So it seems like that little mana shield chantage related bug still exists. I thought I squashed that one, but clearly not. So apologies there. Still got to play it regardless. But
what happened?
So he has his chantaged Onion Knight when he went to attack your Orator in the early game. He remember how he moved and 2 ranged you, and the first attack landed. The proc should have killed her, but the proc didn't activate, and I thought that was something I managed to fix a while back. But against mana shield units, no, it's still a thing because that's what happened. That's why she should have got KO'd right there. That's what should have happened. I even was like, okay, that's a KO, but it never happened. So I went ahead and made a note to take a look into that again because that wasn't something that something I thought I had addressed, but obviously it's still around. So something I'll have to take a little bit more into. But either way, I don't think it would have changed the grand scheme of the fight, but it still had to play it out regardless because where we were at in the game. But
Yeah, sorry that happened, buddy.
Nah, it's all good.
But regardless, GG to you both guys again. Awesome fights there all the way through. Congrats to you, Guitar. Last King, you did phenomenal. Really hard hitting stuff there. I know Guitar got caught off guard game 1, and I'm pretty sure you did, right, Guitar? I don't want to assume, but
Yeah, I didn't think all of my units were gonna go down like that.
yeah, that was pretty spicy stuff there. So it was kind of crazy watching the comeback for sure.
It's funny we both decided to bring Cloud that second fight. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of had a little
I guess
chuckle
on,
when you're about to cloud swapping.
I guess on game 1 it's just better lucky than good.
hmm I guess so. I agree.
Those were really good games, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks.
yeah, it was really good stuff by you both. Really awesome showcase again for you both, and kind of showing some of the new stuff as well, which is always love to see. But also kind of showing some like high level gameplay. I would consider it a high level gameplay. So I mean, it was really cool to see that both games as well by you both. Yeah. Before we end this series, Last King, quick question: what kind of issues did you run up against Guitar? Maybe not necessarily game 1, maybe game. Let's look maybe more game 2. Besides the chantage proc failing.
I think I wasn't expecting the toads to land. I don't know how exactly the toad song thing works, but I wasn't expecting that necessarily. And I guess in game 1, it was just like trying to deal with the reviving, like trying to pick the right moves. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Sure enough. Guitar, what about yourself? What issues did you find yourself either game 1 or game 2?
Game 1 was just dealing with that turn 1 blitz with the teleport.
Yeah.
That was tough. The other game that Onion I definitely put in work. I didn't realize that it did the like the weapon break cast or the item cast. I thought it was just like byproduct. The weapon got destroyed, so that was a good learning experience on that.
The Francisco? Is
Uh,
there double?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that thing did some work. That Onion Knight was really good.
hmm
Yeah, overall,
yeah,
just
it's pretty cool.
overall, I definitely had to get tricky dealing with some really powerful units, especially the AOE and high damage stuff.
Fair enough. Well, fellas, we can go ahead and wrap up the series for this evening. And yeah, I appreciate you both signing up to get Series 9 in the books. Thank you, viewers on YouTube and in Discord, for hanging out with me all the way through. Zephyroth, shout out to you because you've been here since the beginning. So thank you for hanging out with me to the end as well. But yeah, glad to have finally got this series knocked out there. And I will see you guys in the next series, Series 10, which should be All Stars. So I'll catch you guys around. You all have a lovely evening and see you next time.
Thanks, man.